Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Lewis Sports Network. It is your boy Lewis, and I'm back once again with another heavy hitter banger with yet another video. Make sure y'all smash the like button, hit the subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, make sure you guys share the stream, and make sure you guys comment on this channel. Appreciate it. So, I was trying to do the UNC Carolina game, UNC Duke game, but was having issues with the streaming, trying to find the stream, and then even when I found it, it was going in and out, and then it said that I had to log in, so I'm not even going to go through that, so I had to cancel it, so I apologize for that. But I will be doing tournament games because the tournament starts this Tuesday, so best believe your boy Lewis Sports Network is going to be on the college basketball games. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Going to be paying attention to some players, man, because you know that the draft is going to be in June. So, on to this video. This video is going to be about why do I personally think that Magic Johnson has the case to be the greatest of all time. Now, is Magic Johnson on my top 10 list? Yes. Do I have him in the top 5? Yes. Remember, these top 10 lists are very subjective. Some people will say Magic's not the GOAT because of the amount of Hall of Famers that he's played with, the amount of great teammates that he's played with, and he had plenty of help in his career. While someone like me would say, although that's true, I would say that Magic is arguably one of the most impactful players to ever step foot on an NBA court, especially when you consider NBA history. You're talking about a guy who, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said it. He said Magic Johnson made him smile again. He gave him the joy to play basketball again, because people forget that Kareem, although he's such a great player, Kareem missed the playoffs twice in his prime. Now, part of that was not his fault, so I'm not going to get on Kareem like for all of that, but the bottom line is he did. Magic Johnson helped lead the Lakers to 5 NBA championships. You're talking about Magic Johnson. You're talking about a guy who won Finals MVP in his rookie season, and he's a 3-time Finals MVP, 1980, 1982, and 1987. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won 2 of them, but one of them he won with the Lakers. The other one he won with the Milwaukee Bucks. He was the 1985 MVP, and James Worthy was the MVP in the 88 Finals, when he had a triple-double in Game 7. And I hate the fact that people be disrespecting James Worthy, yo, because that dude can play. That dude can play. So it shows you that James Worthy, they called him Big Game James for a reason. He stepped up when it mattered most in those 88 finals. But going back to Magic Johnson, you're talking about a player who, the year I was born, won the MVP for the first time. 87 for those who don't know. Also, this guy's a 3-time MVP. 5-time NBA champion, as I mentioned. 3-time regular season MVP. This guy won a high school championship. He won the national championship beating his rival Larry Bird, who, by the way, the Boston Celtics and the Lakers met 3 times in the 80s in the NBA Finals. And you can look at Magic and Larry as the 2 players that saved the game. Remember that the 80s was the golden age because of the crop of players that came in that draft in all of the drafts. In history. Like the 80s was the golden age of the NBA because of how many all-time greats played in that era. Yo, there were good to great Hall of Fame players that played during that era. Then you also have to consider that Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, they saved the game. They saved the game. Whereas Jordan elevated it to unreachable heights. So it's kind of like, as much as we've had great players, obviously, a collection of great talent that played throughout the 80s and then into the 90s, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird made the game watchable with the fact that they were very similar kind of mirror images of each other. It's just that only Larry was the better shooter and the better scorer than Magic. Magic became a better scorer later in his career. Wasn't saying that Magic wasn't capable of doing it. So that's why I love Magic Johnson a lot. I mean, his infectious smile, his outgoing personality, his ability to make teammates better, his ability to be a leader. Same thing with Larry Bird. His was a little bit different, but my point is Magic Johnson was one of the greatest leaders in NBA history. Like, the impact that Magic Johnson had when he came into this league is unquestionably great. Now, was he a great defender? No. Was a good team defender. Same thing with Larry Bird, because those guys had disadvantages on the defensive end. They weren't the fastest. Those guys did not have the best lateral movement when it came to defending their opponents. But, but they play with effort, right? But with Magic Johnson, it's crazy the impact that Magic Johnson had in NBA history. And I have him number 4 on my list all time. I have Larry Bird at number 5. even though I said that I wasn't going to rank players. But that's why I had them on my all-time ranking. I mean, you're talking about a guy, he beat Larry Bird and those Celtics with Parrish and McHale 2 out of 3 times. You're talking about 85 when Magic Johnson lost to Larry Bird Celtics in 7 games in 84. And he beat them in 85, being able to be the first team, I think, to ever clinch a championship at the Boston Garden, and then beat them in 87, 4-2, to win the second out of 3 chips going up against Larry Bird and the Celtics. So, I mean, Magic Johnson has a Hall of Fame resume. He's won at every level. So you're talking about high school, collegiate, and NBA. Then on top of that, he's a gold medalist on the historic 92 Dream Team that had, 10, 11 Hall of Famers on that team? And he continued to help make the game global. So, I mean, this guy has over 10,000 career assists. So he's 5th or 6th all-time in assists. Scored over 18,000 career points. Field goal percentage, one of the best of all time. I mean, and this guy revolutionized the point guard position being 6'9", because his ability to see over the top because he was so tall. And remember, him along with those Lakers, man, because they had so many good athletes and athletic players, they ran Showtime in the 80s. They dominated the 80s. Him, Kareem, Worthy, Jamal Wilkes, Norm Nixon, Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, Kurt Rambis, Michael Thompson. I mean, it goes on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. Hell, I even know Mitch Kupchak played on the Lakers. Coached by the spearheaded Pat Riley. And I remember Paul Westhead was the first coach that coached Magic Johnson before Pat Riley took over in the 81 season. This is the guy who took over for center when Kareem got injured, when he injured his ankle in Game 5 of the 1980 finals against the Philadelphia 76ers, who, by the way, they met 3 times in the finals. Magic Johnson met Larry Bird in the finals. So you're talking about this guy beat Dr. J. This guy beat freaking Larry Bird. I mean, McHale Parrish. I mean, Darryl Dawkins. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, right? And, to be a gold medalist, I mean, you're talking about an all-NBA player. Like, it's almost kind of like what Magic Johnson hasn't done. I mean, so many all-star teams, all-star game MVP in 92 after he retired, from the HIV virus, was able to come back. And it was like he was not what he once was, obviously, because he was, 36, 37 years old. But he was still able to, play the game at a high level. And his basketball IQ was what you never seen before. Now, he had his tragic Johnson moments. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But it's like when you culminate his career, I mean, he helped Kareem get more chips. Obviously, Magic isn't where he is without the teammates, obviously, but just an unbelievable player. And like I said, he was competitive, the will to win, the drive. One of the most competitive players in NBA history, and I put Larry Bird with them, man. They were all about getting better. They were all about winning. And that's the attitude that I love from these guys. These guys right here, our forefathers, man, just made you appreciate the game of basketball for what it is, man. And I love Magic for that. And I always am endeared and appreciate it. And like I said, me born in 87, the Lakers won the NBA championship. Magic was NBA regular season MVP and finals MVP. So that's why I appreciate it. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Louis with another one, making the case for why Magic Johnson should be GOAT. Give me more reasons in the comments as to why you think Magic Johnson deserves to be the GOAT. Let me know. I'm just making a case for Magic. But anyway, like I said, once again, you already know the deal as always. Live, laugh, love. Thank y'all for watching.